They didn't, and they should have, but yeah, that's not for me to say. So anyhow, let's talk about the next thing. We were watching, last time we spoke, we were watching some disturbances out in the tropical, coming off the coast of Africa there, off the west coast of Africa. We were watching some tropical waves and different things. And so we have seen those start to develop. Some of them didn't do much of anything, but now we have a new one here. It's a tropical depression right now. And it's Tropical Depression 9, that's the TD you see right here. That's what it stands for. The system itself is right here. We'll look at the satellite here in a minute, but there's just a lot of clouds and thunderstorms. It's not extremely organized. But it is, the hurricane hunters are actually out there right now doing their thing. They're thinking that this is going to turn into a tropical storm and then go into a Category 1 hurricane. This time it looks like Carolinas won't really be impacted that much. It'll probably be a lot of wave action, maybe some minor beach erosion and flooding. Again, it's going to depend on how this thing tracks exactly and where all the showers and thunderstorms are going to be at. Obviously with tropical depressions, tropical storms are not as well organized as hurricanes usually. But even with a hurricane, as we saw in Dorian, the showers can be more on one side than they can be in the other. We saw a lot of showers on the south and the east side of Dorian. So we could get the same thing with this one, or it could be on the west side this time. So we'll just have to see how that all plays out and kind of see how the system comes together and is organized. So I'll be keeping a close eye on this. It's obviously going to impact Florida for sure. It's going to impact the Bahamas again. It's not going to be anything like they just saw, but after going through everything they just went through, they don't need any more. That page is, oh, everything's taking long to load. So here's the overview of the tropics. Here it is, Tropical Depression 9. You can see it in there just churning about. Like I say, it's not real organized. Looks like it's going every which way, but they're thinking there might be a similar center of circulation over here. So right now the thunderstorms are not associated with the overlevel low. Here we see a couple more systems, tropical waves, if you will, coming off the coast of Africa. A lot further south now. We were seeing most of them up here. These are pretty far south. We just passed the peak of hurricane season. So as you're seeing, you know, and as you just watch this loop, you see there's a lot of activity going on. Central America, a lot of thunderstorms down there, right here. Gulf of Mexico. It's just a lot of things going on. I don't know why these pages are taking so long to load. We just had them loaded. So this one, this will show you the track of Tropical Depression 9. And what I wanted to show you was the watches and warnings. So there's a tropical storm warning. Tropical storm warning up here for the Bahamas. All the same areas that just got, you know, hit. Freeport, there you see it all. Tropical storm warnings. And they definitely don't need this. Tropical storm watch from basically West Palm Beach to Palm Coast. If you live anywhere in that area. You need to be on the lookout. Sorry, I was just looking at something else there real quick. Definitely be on the lookout if you live anywhere on that east coast there of Florida. I'm sure as this gets closer they will update these warnings. This is the 5-day outlook for the tropical systems. Here's Tropical Depression 9 right here. 1,009 millibars, moving northwest at 1 mile per hour. Its winds are 30 miles per hour. So, you know, it's not very strong, but it is going to increase in strength. So 90% chance through the next 5 days. So it's a pretty high chance. Here's the next one here. This is a tropical wave. Formation chance through 5 days, 50%. Move to the lesser. Cape Verde Islands in the Lesser Antilles producing a large but disorganized area of cloudiness and showers. More conducive for development in a couple days, and a tropical depression could form early next week. So that one's 50%. This one, it's real early in its life cycle, 40%. Tropical wave, same thing. Westward across the Atlantic, 20%. Now that's the formation of a cyclone happening. That doesn't mean that it can't be strengthening towards a cyclone. It just means the chance of it becoming an actual cyclone, basically an invest. So an invest is just an area of interest that the National Hurricane Center is saying, we're interested in this area, it looks like it's probably going to form into something. And so as it goes through that process until it becomes a tropical depression, like this one here, it's just constantly developing. But this is saying, what's the chance it's going to actually turn into a tropical depression in the next 5 days? 20%. Doesn't mean it's not on its way to becoming one in day 6. But anyways, these are two areas that they're really interested in watching. So yeah, again, here's a sat view, infrared, of the overall area of the tropic. And just lots of activity. Again, we're right past the peak of hurricane season, and that's why you're seeing these types of systems pop up more regularly now. Another thing I wanted to go over is right now, and this has been kind of a predominant case for a lot of the summer, but definitely recently. If you live anywhere from, let's say, the Midwest to the East Coast, you're seeing heat, really, really hot, record-breaking temperatures in some areas. Got a big high-pressure system right here, blocking all this. So what this means is it doesn't really give these storms a great chance to get out here and eject like we saw Dorian do. Now this one it's looking like, because it's so weak, that it's just going to kind of just go on through there and meander and do its thing, probably just fizzle out. But even if you look at its path, well, here, sorry, let's go on this one. So if you look at its path, it's ejecting really early. Most of them, when they eject, they're going to eject up and head off to the UK. But this one's ejecting really early because it's hitting that ridge, and it's going to go off to the east, almost due east. So we'll see. Hopefully this one doesn't come like this and go back down and then come on over or something. I mean, we've seen those crazy paths before, but hopefully it doesn't do that. But anyhow, when you come in here and you look at this, yeah, just high pressure, so it's kind of blocking everything from coming like this and just ejecting out. It's keeping everything to the south. And these prime paths, you get in here into these areas, Caribbean and into the Gulf, and so we've seen some big hurricanes. They stay over that warm water. So we'll see what happens. It's still early on. I'm going to keep a close eye on this, keep updating you guys. But this is definitely the one to watch right now. Tropical Depression 9. It still says potential in other areas. It's called a hazard of tropical depression. So I don't know. It's going to come a tropical depression regardless. 90% in the next 5 days. So just keep an eye on this. You know, it's going to be a close call. In Florida, I think it's going to get more of an impact this time. Not that they didn't get a great impact, but I think it's going to be, I think this will probably end up being a big rainmaker. So you'll see lots of localized flooding and maybe a little beach erosion. I don't think wave height's going to be anything too spectacular, but definitely a situation to keep your eye on. And of course, they're already seeing showers and stuff, not associated with it, but just from the flow, you can see the flow is going east to west right now. And the Bahamas, they're getting rain too. So let me zoom out here. Kind of give you another look. I'm not going to go far. So Charleston's going to be real close. Jacksonville's going to be close again. So there you go. That's the update for now. As of 1 p.m. Eastern time. And I'll come back on probably later tonight and do another update. Not much is going to change throughout the day. It's moving real slow like we saw. I think it was 1 mile per hour. Yeah, moving northwest at 1. So it's basically doing the same thing Dorian did. So, which hopefully, let me look at one other thing real quick. Where was it? I don't remember where it was. But yeah, one other thing I was going to say is that, you know, it's moving slow, and, you know, last thing they need up in this area is more rain. They've already had all that flooding. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. This is wxninjaa. And yeah, my computer is having its day. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. But yes, there it is. Gonna turn off to the east. But I'll be back later. Appreciate everyone stopping by. Take care.